we are expecting news of a deal between them, but no deal yet between the government and the teachers. Niamh Sweeney joins me, Deputy General Secretary at the National Education Union. Good afternoon to you, Niamh.
Afternoon, Sheila.
Just give us a sense of who is striking today and how big the impact is.
So I've been on the picket line with some of our sixth form college members this morning. They're on their 7th day of national action, and our school teacher members who have taken their 6th day of action. And the mood is resolute. The mood is strong. They know that they would much rather be in the classroom. They'd much rather be teaching, but they are absolutely striking for a better deal for education.
And is there any movement on negotiations? What's the latest?
No, so there's been nothing. So our talks ended with Gillian Keegan 5 weeks ago, and that's when our members rejected the offer, and it was rejected by the other trade unions as well. And now there has just been radio silence. There's been nothing from the Secretary of State. And I think it's really important that we recognise this is a huge moment in education. When you've got you've got the National Education Union, the third largest trade union in the country, taking 6-7 days of action, and you've got the head teacher union saying that they are prepared to ballot for strike action. In Askell's case, for the first time ever, it really does mean that the Secretary of State has got a problem, and she has to sit down and talk to us about how we ensure that every child has the teacher that they deserve in their classroom. I was talking to a parent on our rally today whose child has had 6 teachers during his 2-year A-level course in classics, to a secondary school parent whose child has had 13 English teachers since September, and that just isn't good enough for the children and young people.
Those who object to the strikes might say to you, if 12 teachers is better than no teacher at all and no teaching at all.
Well, actually, no, it isn't. That disruption is really difficult for children and young people, particularly this generation who have gone through isolation and COVID. They need the ability to develop a long-term relationship with a teacher. And teachers shouldn't be, working in education, teaching is the best job I have ever done. And we have to really look at it and think, why are people leaving the profession? And that's due to an excessive workload and low pay. And why aren't enough graduates entering the profession? That is a problem for the Secretary of State for Education. It's her job to ensure that there are enough teachers to ensure that children get an education, and that isn't happening at the moment. And the figures are beginning to look worse, that yet again they aren't going to recruit enough initial teacher trainers from September, and teacher vacancies are up 93% on pre-pandemic times.
Can I ask you, while I have you, Niamh, we're talking about tuition fees and university and the choices that students make, really start to think about at GCSE level probably. What do you think we need to change so that as many young people as possible are on a path that can, a higher education path that can really deliver a future to them, and also, for the commonwealth of all of us in the country?
Well, I think it's really important that young people are able to pursue subject choices and career choices that infuse them, that interest them, and they're passionate about. But what we see in education at the moment is a quarter of secondary school head teachers saying that they're already cutting GCSE and A-level subjects. So that means that young people are having to make different decisions about their careers or about their qualification choices. And that's not fair. It shouldn't be dependent on where you live as to whether you can get a DT teacher, whether you can study design and technology. If you're passionate about it, you should be able to do it. And that's the problem that we've got with teacher supply and the way that our education system works, that, teachers and head teachers are putting out adverts for all sorts of subjects and not getting any applicants, and that is having a detrimental impact on young people's career choices and aspirations.
Yeah, so I talked about GCSE level as the start of the conversation, but really what you're describing starts a lot earlier, doesn't it? It's
Absolutely.
about provision of a broad education.
Yeah. And we should be thinking about that of, is our education system about passing some exams in maths, English and science, or is it about developing skilled people who can make decisions in the future and be good citizens and contribute to our society? And I think that's what young people want from their education system.
Thanks very much indeed, Niamh. Good to talk to you. Niamh
My pleasure.
Sweeney, thank you, who is Deputy General Secretary at the National Education